I think we might have nailed the weird face
The
screenshot.
switch over. Here to help.
Yeah. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining me on another Beyond Quest with Reck. And I've got Marisa Wolf here. Welcome to the show, Marisa.
It's me. Thank you so much, Reck. I am happy to be here.
Yeah. Well, we're here to talk about A Plague of Magic. We'll give people a couple seconds to hop on. Hey, it looks like Brian's on. Hey, Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Thanks for joining. We were just talking as we were waiting for the show to start about trauma stuff sneaking into our books accidentally.
Just normal things.
Yeah, just gonna write a fun little comedy about a slug and his friends, and yeah.
And then surprise! Hi, Steffi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This internet friends, since you're early, you can hear it. Was supposed to be a fun heist novel. That's all. Just fun, good times. Everyone's having.
Yeah, just a lovely, lovable bunch of misfits, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It didn't do that.
I told Marisa, I was like, I should have known when the word plague was in the title. That is kind of a warning that people may encounter death of some sort.
Some tragedies.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're all
fine. Yeah.
all here to have a good time. Not the characters.
The vibe.
But
the vibe for 2026.
Everything is fine. We're doing so great. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, before we really dig into the book, I just want to call out that you're part of the Feral Ladies, and I've interviewed Casey and Melissa, and I just want to say, I now have the infinity gauntlet of Feral Ladies. If I start floating mid podcast, you'll know.
I was saying we're gonna hear boss music in the back, Gregorian chants, or just just gonna rise.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, but can you tell me, before we get really going, can you tell me what is the Feral Ladies? How did you become a part of the group? What does that look like for you? How is that?
Yes. So Feral Ladies sprang, I type words sometimes, came from so really tight with Casey Ezel and Melissa Olthoff. They are amazing people. I can give more context on that after, if helpful. But in 2021, we returned to the land of cons, and somebody that I knew, but was across the lobby, and they were doing something, and I was just just staring with that crazy look on my face. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, they can see me. I forgot that it's not computer life. You can't, people can see you seeing them. It's real life, which is different than a Zoom. And I looked at Melissa and I was like, I think I've gone feral. I don't think I can be trusted in society anymore. And she was like, wasn't that always? Aren't we always? And I was like, you right. And so then Casey was in Japan, how dare. But I messaged her and Melissa and I was like, hey, what if we just were chaotic on the internet for fun, on purpose? We can call it Feral Ladies. And they said yes, because sometimes we share a single brain cell, and so we sign up for whatever sounds fun with each other. But yeah, I've known Casey since I was probably in college. We wrote fan fiction together on the internet. And then Melissa, I met partly because of Casey and her friend boy Casey, but at a con where she said some outrageous nonsense. And I was like, you and me, girl.
You're a Feral Lady.
Yes, you are my
welcome.
Yeah. Welcome. It was 1, she said something. 2, I heard about it from other people. And 3, when I saw her next, 20 minutes later, I was like, so you? And she's like, yup, I said it. And it was awesome. And I was like, you are my people forever. You are stuck now. The end.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that the feral part comes from just, kind of that social,
forgot how to be in the world.
Yeah.
I was never good at it, to be clear, but man, 2020.
It's gotten, 2020, I think, broke a lot of people's social,
everything.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah. It's kind of nice to be a writer who just stays at home and doesn't have to worry about that.
Right. It's just me and my computer. And finger words are much easier than mouth words. I'm not gonna lie. So that's good times.
True story. And we got spell check when you're doing the finger words.
Right.
It makes it a lot easier.
Time for edits, so you can just like spit out some nonsense and then fix it. It's great.
That's right. That's right. Well, let's dig in and talk about a plague of magic. So, so for my wow. Okay, let's try that again.
We're
So for my
doing
readers, Plague of Magic, it's not a lit RPG. I interview a lot of lit RPG authors, so I just want to call that out. It's a fantasy. It's a heist rogue fantasy that follows our main character. And it does, despite the topic, it does kind of have like this lighthearted, heisty sort of tone.
Yeah.
And thanks, Brian, for sharing the Feral Ladies YouTube channel.
Oh,
so
thanks,
yeah, definitely follow along with them as well. Check them out. It's awesome. I actually subscribed to your guys' channel here this last week. So yeah, I'm excited to catch you guys. Okay, so back to
books.
Books. Right. So it's a heist rogue fantasy that follows our main character. Is it Seema?
Yes.
Seema. Yeah. Okay. Seema and her family of I call it street rat friends.
Rats. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Street rats. Yeah. And they get a tip from a seer that there's like a treasure in one of the ruins of the city that's been kind of cordoned off and people aren't supposed to go there. When Seema and her family of friends goes into this section of the city, Seema falls through the floor. And I'm giving away like the first chapter here. Yeah, she falls through the floor and finds this unimaginable treasure. Like
loot. Yeah.
Wins the freaking lotto. You ever wonder what would happen if you won the Powerball? That's what she and her friends get to experience.
Yeah.
And they just are they don't understand that riches like that and the way they found it might have some consequences.
Could be. Yeah.
And in this instance, it just happens to be a plague of magic, which is disappointing to the group.
Really kind of ruins the day. Yeah, the vibe is ruined.
Yeah, it's so yeah, it's a great, I really enjoyed it. It's a great book. The tone's great, the pacing's great, there's unexpected elements in it. And yeah, you need to go read it if you haven't read it. So put it on your TBR.
Join us.
Yeah, join us. So starting us off with our conversation, do you go by Marisa? Is there, should we yell, "Hey, Feral Lady" at you at cons? How would you like to be addressed?
I do respond to Feral Ladies, and it's pronounced Marisa, but
Marisa, I apologize.
No, please don't. You're fine. The short version of the story is I threw an eraser the first day of school at kindergarten at my teacher. That sentence was in pain, but it's okay. And I got called to the principal's office, and that's a rough way to start school, I'm just going to say. So my mom was like, "I don't care if they call you Susan." I don't think she said Susan, but she's like, I will not be called down to this office again. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, so it's really fine. But yeah, so you can say Marisa, you can say Marissa. I might raise my eyebrow at you because I'll forget that you can see my face. But you can say Feral Lady. We have definitely been summoned by Feral Lady, which is pretty great.
Okay. Yeah. So if we go to a con and we start chanting Feral Lady, Feral Lady,
it's like you'll
one
summon
of you
us.
will appear. Yeah.
At least one. Yeah. And if you follow the sound of cackling, you'll probably find us in a cluster. So
that's
join
fair.
us.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
All right. Well, Marisa, thanks for clarifying. Yeah. And let's dig into the book. We'll talk about the book first, and we'll kind of talk about your process. And at some point, there's a headbutting and alligator story that needs to.
There is.
Yeah. So, so this book is definitely a fantasy heist crossover, and I personally haven't read too many fantasy heists. I mean, they're definitely, it's a thing. It's a subgenre. But did you have inspiration for the world or for like the heist background to it?
So I love heist stories. I love heist movies. I love heist books. I love a good heist. And I was like, I'm going to write a fun heist novel. So I came across by accident this real life thing called the Cheapside Hoard, which was this pretty phenomenal treasure found by construction workers in London in one of the many rebuildings of the city. And it's a great story. I went down like a 6-hour rabbit hole. I had a whole other deadline. But I was in this rabbit hole. I wrote like 4,000 words. I was like, ooh, okay, I can't write this right now. Maybe I'll come back to it. 4 years later. I these are how these things happen. A couple of other things happened. I put together some things in my head of the time I'm pretty sure I met a fae in New Orleans in real life. The fact that I am potentially part dragon. So off camera here, you can see it a little bit right here, but off camera is my hoard. Rocks and shells and fossils and shiny things and random things I've put together. So the idea of writing a story about loot, like, it's my favorite part of D&D, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as the DM's like, here's what you found, I'm like, yes, shut up, yes, nobody talk, yes, the loot is my so all these things finally came together, and I had known Seema as the main character for a while, but Harvin was like, hey, fun fact, you need a different perspective here. And it just kind of all came together at the time I had a chance to write a fantasy novel. And so I was like, you know what, let's see where it goes. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be a heist. And narrator voice, it is not fun for the characters even a little bit. So
yeah. How did you approach? I always think, whenever I think about writing a heist or something like that, I'm like, I'm not sure I'm clever enough to write this sort of book, because you've got to figure out the like heist dynamics, right?
actual things.
Yeah, like your characters do a lot of sneaking, and there's a lot of like deception, like the family dynamic and how they work together is very well thought out and planned. How did you approach that? Did your rabbit hole of research help you with that, or
a little bit with the heist? It's definitely one of those, like, please, government agents, don't look too deeply into my search history. I didn't rob the Louvre, you know, like that wasn't me, I swear. So definitely like art thieves, Catwoman, like all of the, so fascinating. So definitely yes, that in research. And then when I decided that Seema wasn't a lone wolf and it would be way more fun if she had a family that she trusted more than anything, then I had to, she was so clear in my head that I was like, oh no, these guys have to be just as clear. Like I need to know who they are and what they do, and why would they work together, and why would they trust each other so deeply. So I actually wrote, this is where my fan fiction background helped. I wrote a couple of scenes. This was Shami Stovall's advice also, that are not in the book at all, but just quick little vignettes of them interacting. So like when they were kids, when they were teenagers, when they were young adults, like just different ways. And then I wrote that first chapter where you meet them all, and then went a couple more chapters, and then went back to the first chapter and was like, ooh, we got to tweak. This isn't what Mish sounds like. This is actually how Ackles would respond, not Terrio, and kind of tweak that up once they were more firm in my head. So it was a mix of research and practice.
Yeah. They definitely, the different family members have distinct voices from each other. You've got, like the goofy, I'm going to juggle the loot in the tavern and spend all the
look at Michael stuff. Yeah.
I mean, like you got them very differentiated, different voices, which it makes sense that I can see where that would really help. So
yeah. So that was fun. And then the real story of the Cheapside Horde is fascinating. So I was like, what about that? But magic and a whole other world. So these construction workers found it. No fighting, no backstabbing. They just farmed it out amongst themselves and went out for like an epic night of drinking. So epic, it summoned the director of the British National History Museum. And he spent the next couple of days hunting everything back down. And I was like, yes, this, but magic.
Yeah. I can see where, yes. Yeah, that totally comes together with the story.
Yeah.
Well, the world that you set them in is a post-apocalyptic, where historically magic unleashed basically an Armageddon, and it still has the potential to trigger these plagues and wild magical events. Can you tell us a little bit about how magic works in the world without giving maybe the main plot of the series away?
The main thing.
Yeah.
So it is basically a fundamental force of the universe. And what are humans going to do when presented with a fundamental force of the universe? They're going to play with it. Like, we're going to splash around in it. We're going to think we understand it. We're going to use it. And in some small ways, that works, right? You're doing the things you think you're doing. Magic is happening. Magic is real. Everything's amazing. But it's like trying to dam the Mississippi. It's not going to do what you think it's going to do long term. It just isn't, because we're not thinking big enough. And the humans of this world are very similar in that they are not thinking globally. They are not thinking in millennia. they are thinking, I want to do this thing. Magic's going to do this thing. Go. And so to some extent, magic works as like a shaping of energy and intent and will. But then also it do what it want. Like you can't control it. It is the tides, it is gravity, it is just again a fundamental force of the universe. And so many intelligent beings, this is a spoiler for later books, but not that hard.
As you were talking, I was thinking at the ending of this book, and I was like, uh-oh.
I was like, not a crazy cliffhanger. Like you put that there, but
you're
why?
not done messing with them, are you?
Yeah. So there were many kinds of intelligent beings that could use magic, and so it's not just humans who messed around and found out. But you know, it fundamentally changed the world when you play with a foundational part of the universe. So in the way magic works, that is very important to know for this book, in this world, is it takes magic to spark magic. So you can have all the capacity in the world to use magic, to do magic, to interact with it. But if you don't encounter it, nothing will ever happen.
Yeah.
If you do encounter it, many, many, many things could happen.
It's like a domino effect, right? Yeah.
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 So.
Yeah, I liked the fact that magic had stakes. Like we encounter a lot of fantasy books where there's just no consequence to unlimited power, you know. If you just work hard enough, you get unlimited power, and then it's all happy. And yeah, this one's kind of fun because the consequence is like almost immediate. You know, it's not even like eventually you become a Sith Lord or something. It's like
right,
that plague
of training thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the plague, you know, can happen pretty quick. So
yeah.
Well, it's, and we talk a little bit about how the found family aspect. You've got this group of lovable misfits that have kind of banded together in this plague book.
We do have that.
But you do fall in love with this like thief gang because they, I don't know, there's just like somebody to fall in love with. I don't care who you are, there's somebody for you in the group. What made you to decide to go with this like found family theme?
So there are probably two themes that keep coming up in my books, even when I don't try. Found family is one I always try. I love it so much. It's so important to me in my life. That found, forged family, that ability to, you start somewhere with people who hopefully love you, and then you have the power throughout your life to find more of your people and to build this family. And when you don't have somebody to take care of you, like Seema, all of their parents were killed in various plagues or various things. We don't go into deep details there.
Yeah.
But oh, Steffi, I love you so much. I just said that. So found family is going to be in every one of my stories. The other thing that keeps creeping into all of my stories, and I don't realize it all the time right away, is you can't trust your government. The people in power do not have your best interest in mind. So there's a thematic resonance there, I think. Like, people in power don't have your best interest in mind. The people around you that you have selected, that have selected you, that is what you fight for always. So
yeah, I can see that coming across pretty clearly in this book. And
not on purpose, but here we are.
yeah, the darkness and the found family just, you know, sneak in.
Yeah. And I did choose the found family on purpose. Again, I started, when I conceived of this book, it was just Seema. And there were people she would pick up along the way, but it wasn't this. And I was like, we need to root her in her world. She would never have made it to this point alone. There's just no world. Not that I can imagine. So of course she had people who mattered. It's not entirely past tense. It's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there's a little hope there at the end.
Yeah, some hope. So that is my promise. So found family, you're almost always going to find in my books. Don't trust the people in power to have your best interest in mind. You're almost always going to find in my books. I guarantee we will always end with hope. We will maybe not be hopeful the whole way, but we will end there. We will not end in the grimmest of grimdark.
So. I appreciate that. Yeah, because there is maybe an alternate reality of this book that is really, really dark, and you kept it, above that. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
That is a level. That's where I want
Mhm.
it. Like I want to punch you in the gut a little bit, but I don't want you to end like, oh no, this is terrible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I would be remiss if I didn't touch upon dragons.
Yes,
Again, I don't want to give too much away, but there is a dragon in your book. There's a horde. There's a dragon.
there is. Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously hordes and dragons go together, but there's a lot of mythological creatures out there that you could have chosen to include in here. Why dragons?
Several reasons. One, I'm a dragon girl. Like the first series that I lost my mind and heart to was Anne McCaffrey's Dragon Riders of Pern. I wrote Pern fan fiction for more than 20 years. It is it is deeply rooted in my soul. I have an entire corner of a bookshelf that is only dragon stories. And those are just the ones that I have physically. I mentioned this actually to Geneva, fabulous Geneva of the Legion publishers,
I think.
publishers.
Yeah.
Nouns are hard. To Geneva the other day, and she's like, "Oh, dragons."
Yeah, Geneva loves.
Yes, I know. So good.
Yeah.
So, did I immediately spend the next 6 hours reading all the skills? Yes, I did. But like, dragons have my heart. Part 2, as you said, hordes and dragons go together. And I wanted to do something just like a little twist from the usual, where does my tiny angry dragon, his name is Yagan, is he very possessive of his horde? Of course. Does he have very, very good reasons? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He has very good reasons to be tiny, angry, and a dragon.
He
So here we are.
is an absolute grump. He might be the grumpiest dragon I've read in a book in a while. Definitely. Yeah.
He cheers up a little bit by the end, but
He does. He does warm up by the end. But yeah, he's pretty grumpy. And I mean, I think you did a good job of like keeping him like intelligent but other. Like he's grumpy in this kind of dragony way, like not a human way, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that worked for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to open up some questions for the audience. If you've got a question, go ahead and pop it in, and we'll ask it with Marisa here. And just keep them coming. I'll keep going through my questions. But if you've got something, I don't know. Melissa is saying that she loves the Drumpy Dragon so much. Yeah, he's adorable. Yeah,
I do. I love him.
Brian's like, here's feral ladies. Yeah. So if you haven't,
more shenanigans.
Yeah, if you want more shenanigans, go visit feral ladies and follow them on YouTube. So, yeah. So I try to do some limited stalking of my author guests before they come on the show.
Amazing. We call that preparation. We love it.
Yes. Yeah. That stalking, preparation. I don't know. So I did run across on your website that there is something about headbutting an alligator.
I was headbutted by an alligator. Like the record to show.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm trying to be your publicist here, and this is. I think it makes a more fun story if this was your active choice.
My plan.
Yeah.
I will say. So I was at the time dating my now husband, and I mean like first 3 months, right? And my husband is Cajun. We were in South Louisiana, and in the course of this week, keep in mind, he has been dating me for 3 months at this point. In the course of a week, I got in a car accident, not my fault, but I had a rental car that I drove to take us hiking in Tunica Hills, where I knocked myself off my feet because I was looking at pretty rocks on the ground, and he caught me. Amazing. And then third thing, same week, same spring break. I was a teacher, same spring break week. I call him laughing, but like hysterically laughing, like it all.
I don't think we can use that word.
No, I'm gonna, because it was borderline crying, like it was right there. Where I was like, hey, so I just got headbutted by an alligator, and he's like, I have family who dive into bayous to hunt alligators. None of them have ever been headbutted by an alligator. What did you do? And I was like, oh my God, I'm laughing so hard, I'm sweating. No, I'm bleeding. I should go. So I had like this perfect piece of blood. So what happened? What happened?
Okay, I just want to say that he
Yeah.
can never claim that you didn't come with a warning label.
Sir, that I have told him that so many times. That man came to my house that night with the first present he ever bought me, which was a helmet. And that is when I knew I was going to marry him. And I'm pretty sure that's when he knew too. So because what do you do with the girl who gets headbutted by alligators? You lock that down.
Helmet. Yeah.
Lock that down.
Okay. So what's the meat of this? How did you?
So it goes like this. I was teaching in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and my baby brother was in second grade, and their class was doing the Flat Stanley project, which are you familiar?
Mm-hmm,
Yeah. So they had a competition of whoever could mail Flat Stanley and get the coolest pictures was like president of second grade or something. I don't know. I think he won a pizza, but he was like, who do I know? My sister basically lives in another country because he was in Connecticut, and Baton Rouge to
Yeah,
Connecticut.
I mean, Baton Rouge is, yeah.
They feel really different. And I was like, oh no, I've been trusted with a very high stakes assignment. I can't let my brother down. And I was like, okay, second grade. What do second graders think is cool? Alligators. So there was a tour company just down the road from where I lived. And I called and I was like, hey, you guys have that alligator on the tour. Can I come take a picture with it? And she's like, no, that's only if you're taking the tour. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I was just doing this like Flat Stanley thing for my brother. She's like, Flat Stanley, I love Flat Stanley. Come down at whatever time. The boat will be coming back. We'll get it done for you. And I was like, okay, great. So I drive my little rental car. I did see that funny comment. No, the alligator was not driving the other car, but I drive my little rental car down to Alligator Bayou, which is literally what it's called. And the tour is getting off the little swamp boat. It's all very nice. And this kid gets off the boat holding, and he's like a 3-year-old alligator, right? It's mostly tail, but it's like, it is off the screen long.
Pretty good size alligator.
Yeah, and he's holding it. And I think in my northerner head, I will hold Flat Stanley, stand next to the guy, the trained professional, holding the alligator. Someone else will take a picture. I go home. Everyone's happy. No. This man steps off the boat and goes, you the girl with the picture? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, cool. This, in case you're wondering, is him throwing the alligator in my direction. Bad things followed. Step 1, I catch the alligator.
As a feral lady should.
As a feral lady should. As never in my life have I been athletic. I do not catch things. This is not, but I perfectly caught that alligator.
But an alligator is on brand.
It is now. I don't know if it was when I was 23, but so I am suddenly holding an alligator. Flat Stanley is crumpled underneath the alligator. I have the alligator by like the throat and the base of his tail. And I'm like squeezing because I'm like, oh my God, this alligator is going to kill me. Like, this is how I die. I don't even know what to do. And then I think a series of dumb thoughts like, surely its mouth is taped shut. They wouldn't just throw an alligator at you if it could open its mouth and eat you. This isn't how you die. These were all incorrect. So I slowly relax my grip. Instantly, that alligator senses my weakness, rears back, slams its head into my head. Their heads are not soft. They are armored. Scratches huge tally marks down my arm. So I am once again gripping this alligator like I'm going to murder it. This happened in like 0.5 seconds. It felt like 20 minutes. And I was like, can somebody take the picture, please?
I love how you're not like, somebody saved my life. You're like, I need to get
take the picture.
Yeah,
I am committed.
Flat Stanley is literally flattened on my hand. We need to.
Picture. I did finally find it because I sent it back. My sunglasses have been knocked fully off my head. They're gone. They're on the dock somewhere. There's like one scraggly piece of hair in front of my eyeball, which blocked the place that later bled. And then I'm like, look, half drunk. Flat Stanley's head is just peeking up over the alligator. Like, it is a disaster of a picture. But it won my brother that contest.
I was gonna say, did it win? Because I mean,
the kids lost their shit. Because step 1, alligator. Step 2, your sister is holding an alligator. And then my brother was able to say, it even attacked her, and she got the picture. That's right.
That's amazing.
So
That's a family legend. That's that
we
story.
can just win forever.
I love it. I love
Mhm,
it.
mhm.
And
Oh my
I
gosh.
mean, your brother. Yeah, I mean, you've got to be your brother's hero, at least for.
I was for at least a couple years. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was also the big sister who lived far away, so coolest, right?
Right. Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, delivered that second grade victory. I feel really good about that.
Absolutely. That's amazing. Everybody deserves a big sister like that.
Exactly. One for the team. Head-to-head contact with an alligator. Do not recommend.
Love it. Yeah, that story lived up to the teaser on your website. So
I'm glad.
yeah. All right. So we do have a couple questions.
Oh, yay.
I'm gonna pop the first one up here.
Yeah.
So Steffi says, "What helps you come up with your amazing characters? How do you flush them out, and how do they grow as you write?"
Man, Steffi with the thoughtful questions
I
over
know.
here.
Yeah, she's on it.
So usually whenever I'm about to start a story, I start with a character very clear in my head. That's usually how I get any story idea is somebody is loud in my head, and then I start to fill in the world around them. Um, then I have to come up with who are the people in their neighborhood? Like, who do they know? What is going on?
Yeah.
And that's usually a mix of things. This is where my fanfic background comes in handy, like developing personas and coming up with their backgrounds and thoughts. Shamay's advice was really good. Like, sometimes I just write these little vignettes, like snippets of dialogue. It's usually dialogue that I really get to know a character. So I'll just write these snippets that have no place in the book. They don't belong there. I don't, every now and then they're so good I find a way, but usually they're just practice words. And then almost every single time I write a book, I get to the end, I let it sit for however long I can let it sit for, and then I rewrite the beginning because the characters, they grow
Change.
anyway,
Mhm.
but like my idea of who they were has changed through the book, and I realize now at the beginning they're just not, it doesn't quite fit.
That's smart.
Yeah, I mean, I recommend it. It's also a little bit of very selfish advice because I get frustrated that every time I get to the end and I'm like, this beginning sucks. Like, no, it's part of your process, Marisa. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
So that's really helpful. So I think it's practice. Let them breathe. They're gonna go awry. My characters always want to go on more side quests than the book has room for. Usually I have really good feral backup readers, alpha readers who would tell me like, this is fun. It's not
But
in the
cut.
book.
Yeah.
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 And that's also what really good editors are for because I love to go on adventures with my characters.
Mhm.
But even those words aren't wasted, right? Like they still help me figure out, oh, this is what you would do in that situation. So that
Like the
colors in with other.
scaffolding to your book,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you ever save those stories and publish them as short stories or little add-ons for Patreon
That's a
followers?
great question. I have not yet. I save everything. If I delete stuff, I have like 95 documents that are like words from this thing. Here's this idea. And I did do like here's a bonus chapter for some stuff on my what is it? Newsletter? That's a word.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's fun. But yeah, if I had like an entire chapter, an entire adventure, maybe I would. But it's usually like, okay, we take half of this chunk out. This is actually the only thing that anyone has to see. Or we take this whole piece out, but it doesn't stand alone. It's just
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
random. Yeah.
yeah. That's fair.
But
Okay, so we've got another question here from Brian. He wants to know, what does your writing day look like? Do you write every day? Do you have a ritual? How does that work for you?
what a great question. No. No. When I am most successful, I do have a routine. I have the sort of brain that doesn't listen to me. So I can hold myself to a routine for a little while and it'll be working great and everything is wonderful. And my brain's like, wait a second, I just remembered you're not the boss of me. I'm out. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, brain. You're so helpful.
How do you get back on track? I have that problem too. Today was that problem. I have not written at all today, and I needed to. Yeah.
Sir, I know this. I know this guy didn't write today either. So usually what I do unhelpful things, then I do helpful things. So unhelpfully, I beat myself up about it. Not ever, not a single time has that been.
It's like, can I shame myself into doing this? And you just wallow in shame.
Yeah. Like, oh my God, if only I. Shockingly, that does not help
It
my
does
defiant
not.
brain undefy. So what does work usually is break. So something, go outside, go for a walk, go somewhere pretty. On purpose don't do anything for a day, which sounds counterintuitive, but instead of just sitting there frozen on the couch and scrolling Instagram, and so feeling terrible that I did nothing, I'm like, you know what? Today I'm going to read a book. So like the first week of the year, I could just feel it. I could just feel that resistance. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read the last 6 Dungeon Crawler Carl books. And I did.
As you do.
And it was amazing. Yeah. I took 5. It took 5 days and I feel solid. It was almost a week. It was pretty great. And then after that, I was like, oh, and then I wrote 4,000 words to a short story. You know, like it's just, I need to on purpose give my brain a break because clearly I haven't been taking care of that or something. Like I am internally fighting against something. I have to figure out what that is, get a little break on purpose, feel good about it, and then get back to work. And then my dear friend, my best friend in the whole world, Casey Azell, she is actually has a course, which
that sets up so well for this question.
Yes. Yes, you can be my best friend so hard. We're going to retroactively make you my best friend before this question.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Sorry. Keep going. So Casey has a course.
She's a course for overcoming creative resistance, which is great.
Okay. I've seen Casey's TikToks, but yeah, I maybe need to go.
She's so smart. Like just Jesus Christ. She's smart and beautiful. How dare. And talented and great. So when I do have routines that work for me, it's random. Like it's okay. I need to have a deadline. My problem right now is I have a deadline, but like I made it up and my brain knows that I'm not serious. So it's like, you have plenty of time. So step 1, I need a deadline. Step 2, I need to be accountable to somebody with that deadline. And then step 3, I kind of back up of like, how many days can I fuck around before I find out? Mm-hmm. And then that helps me kind of lock in. And you know, some days I write 1,500 words and that feels like a huge, amazing, wonderful achievement. Some days I write 5,000 words and I'm like, what? It's only 2 in the afternoon? What? Like, who knows? Yeah. The brain is a mysterious thing. But if I try to go slow and steady, that has only worked for me ever for one project. However, to your question, Brian, I wrote the vast majority of this book in less than 2 months. She thick. I just was on Discord like 8 hours a day, usually into 2, 3 a.m. with Marisa Olthoff, who is also batshit crazy in the same way I am batshit crazy. And we both just were like egging each other on, basically. Like it was peer pressure to write a book. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. And it was actually all Casey's fault. Because Casey and I had just finished writing a book and it was so much fun. And I did work just about every day because I don't want to let my co-author down. But then at the end, I was like, but now we're done. And I just have to go back to my own brain, just one brain. That doesn't sound fun. And so Casey's like, well, throw a challenge down, finish this book by the end of the year. And Melissa's like, I'm in, let's go. So
that's awesome. Yeah.
Feral issue. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. I appreciate you talking about creative resistance. I think it's funny because I've seen Casey's TikToks and I'm like, yes, Casey, you've got this. The creative, because I feel that too, that pressure where it just builds up that resistance and you're like, I don't care if you paid me $1 million. I'm not going to sit down and do it today, you know?
Yeah.
And then you doom scroll or, distract yourself and yeah.
And the quality of doom is just so sparkling these days.
I did it a little bit today. I got on here and I was like, oh my God, I need to stop looking at it.
No, I don't want.
I need to stop looking at the world.
Yeah, I just need to focus and just tell my story. And I will say it can be incredibly cathartic to work on your stories when the world is crazy around you. So
yeah. They might turn out darker than you intended, but hey.
Maybe it started off as a fun heist novel and then it turns into something else. Who knows? But it is the story you needed to tell at that time.
Now, my question about that is the name of your book. Did you start with the name and then do the story, or did you write the story and then you're like, oh crap, I got to put plague in the title?
Oh man, I did not have a title. I suck at titles. I hate them. It is very hard for me to come up with ones. And usually what will happen is I will fixate on a title that already exists, decide it is the perfect title for my book that I can't have, and then refuse to think of anything else for months, right? So helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, brain. Melissa named this one.
Okay.
So she titled it because I was telling her about the things, and she's like, "Well, it's basically Plague of Magic," and I was like, "Screw you." Yes, yes, it
Okay,
is.
I guess
Yeah,
it is a plague of
yeah.
magic.
But then
It's
I
not
did. Yeah.
happy-go-lucky heist.
It's not like fun high times. Come meet my dragon. Nope.
Yeah,
But I did come up because of her help with book one. I do know the titles of book two and book three, which I'm very excited about.
that's
And
awesome.
I did come up with those, which is very unlike me.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
it's inspiration. Yeah, yeah.
Melissa just said she has no memory of this. That's yes, I came up with this name. I am very good at naming things.
Yeah.
No.
So future con panel, you just
Yeah.
erase. Yeah, it was
Yes.
just a
Fun.
brilliant name that you came up with
Yeah.
yourself.
Just
Yeah.
me. I am
Mhm.
so good at this all by myself.
All right, Wilkie's got our next question. Do you
Ooh.
have qualifications for your ARC readers? It's an interesting
Ooh,
question.
that is
Yeah.
an interesting question. So, no, I don't have specific requirements. I will say Bain, so my main traditional publisher, Bain, they do an eARC thing where months before the book comes out, they will send it out. And or you can buy it and then they will send it out to reviewers. So if you are somebody who reviews a lot of books and you want to get on their eARC list, I believe they have a link on their website, bain.com, to sign up for it, which is awesome. If you're thinking more like alpha reading, I will likely be in the market for that in the next year or so. So if that's something you're interested in, like if you've read some of my books and you're like, yeah, I would like to look at this a little earlier when it's rough, drop me an email.
Yeah. I also will say, Wilkie, if you want to be a alpha reader for me at all, talk to me too, because I think most authors are looking for people that are familiar with their genre that can really provide helpful feedback. Yeah, I'm lucky enough to I've got alpha slugs Discord. Shout out to Brian and
You're
Piano
not
out
breaking
there.
their hearts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
No, that's great. I
yeah,
do too. It's Casey and Melissa are my
yeah.
main alpha readers, which is amazing. So.
Yeah, it's funny. So I'm gonna follow up question for you. So like being an alpha reader is really it's a place of privilege with an author because I don't know. For me, the person that you have to thread this needle with like feedback that is really helpful and like you can have the real conversation of like, hey, you're off the rails. You need to bring that back.
Yeah.
But also you've got to be kind.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing can take my day like my alpha readers being like, this
This
sucks.
doesn't work. I
Yeah.
know. I know. It is. That is a real thing. Like, and that's what one of the things. There's so many things that are so amazing about Casey and Melissa. But one of the things that's so amazing about them is they walk that line. I don't know how much effort they have to put into it. It feels natural. Like it is that sense of like Melissa has actively said to me, if this is trash, I'm a raccoon because I love it. And I love her so much. But like she has such enthusiasm, even when it's more brackets than it is story. She's like, I can find the good in here because I know what you're doing. And then she can also be like, you're stuck here. This isn't it. Like this dialogue doesn't sound right or whatever thing. And Casey is so good at like, I know what you're going for here, and you can punch that up. Like, there's no world in which you can't punch that up. Handle it. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit. All right, girl, let's
Yeah.
go.
Okay. Yeah. We can make this scene
Right?
snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Punch it up. And she is often my inspiration for punching things up because she is so good at that. So they both do a really good job of balancing that. I keep hitting myself with my own book. This is a thing. Anyway, I'm sure there's a metaphor. But they're both really good at balancing that. Like they are clear. They do not falsely celebrate. And there will be times I'll send things like, I just need a cheerleader right now so I can keep writing. Can you just tell me if my story is pretty?
Can you hear the tears in my voice? Because I just need.
Just tell me it's pretty. I'm not sending it in. And then there are other times I send, I'm like, I have to turn this in tomorrow. If it's garbage, you better tell me. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
I mean, it is such a roller coaster. And, I think, I am doing some of the Royal Road stuff, and you existed on fanfic sites. I'm sure you got people saying all sorts of stuff.
we were mostly like play by email, but people still just will say things over email that I don't think they say in real life. So yeah, that happens.
Yeah. It can be wild. Yeah. Wilkie's saying the question regards the fact that we've seen a lot of pirates stealing from authors recently, and I wanted to know how to fix that. That's actually, yeah, That's one thing for me. My alpha readers are people I know that I've
Yeah.
met, that I've looked in the face, you know, with.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I would probably not take up somebody just kind of random.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you at least want to talk to somebody, I think. And like in that broader like thing, my latest resolution, it's not gonna help, it's just gonna make me feel a little better, is all those spam emails we get from people like feeding your book into whatever chat grok zipper, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna take them as like advertising copy and be like, look, the robots love this book. Probably because they've been trained on my books, but whatever. It's fine.
It's kind of a life right now as an author.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
just like wading through a sea of regurgitated crap
Mm-hmm.
to get to like actual real people. And I don't know. I mean, I think the best way to fix that is like, I think we don't give money to pirates. I think you shame them where
Yeah.
possible, and let the people with big money go after them. Like,
Yeah.
that's the best we can do.
There's definitely some more harmful pirating than other pirating.
Mm-hmm.
When people try to publish your book on Amazon or wherever,
That's
like
insane.
we've seen those stories, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But most I would say most of the time, people, if they're a fan of you, they will find you. Like you
Yeah.
will get your
Yeah.
fans, and
Yeah.
the pirates can't produce what we produce.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they could, they wouldn't be pirating our stuff,
Right.
right?
They would just come up with their own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
All right, back to editorial comments. Casey says, my favorite editorial comment of all time came from Marisa. It concerned eyeballs bugging out twice. She hit the line between humor and critique so well. So tell me about this moment. Do you remember it?
I do remember this. So this is in Casey's Blood on the Sand. It's not in there anymore. But in Blood on the Sand, which comes out this April, sequel to Mage Light. Freaking phenomenal. It's so good. So we got to
I'm looking forward to the sequel. Yeah.
Oh my god, Reck, it's so good. It is. I loved Mage Light, and Blood on the Sand is even better. Like,
Yeah.
How dare she? She just keeps leveling up every book. But it's so good. And there's one scene in this one sentence, somebody gets stabbed, and their eyes bug out. But then in the same sentence, their eyes bug out. And I was like, are we doing a thing here, like a cartoon, like awooga? And I tried to spell awooga, where it's like, hey, like, is that what we're doing here, or just the typo? Because I will do that. I catch myself doing. I don't even catch myself all the time, but I will have something so clearly in my head that I'll write it like 4 times in the same paragraph. Like it doesn't need to be there, but it's so clear in my head. I need it to be really clear.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. And so that was a fun one because I knew it was just that she was getting.
Yeah, it was just like, it is happening. Yeah. Those eyes.
This is happening. Eyes are bugging.
This isn't a awooga moment, but it's not a double awooga, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just the one awooga. It was great. So
Yeah.
that was great. One of my favorite, that one was one of my favorites. One of my other favorites was 2 in Rise from Ruin, which you have read.
Mm-hmm.
That was Melissa just said it. I like almost the whole book. I was like, fuck you, this one particular character who deserved all of the fuck yous. And then at some point he did something cool, and I was like, well, unfuck you or whatever then. Like, so mad that she made me
I know that character. You're just like, man, this guy is such a jerk.
Yes.
Like does he have do we have to give him screen time? And then he has this sweet moment and you're like,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Unfuck you or whatever. Like that's so
I don't think I said unfuck you, but I was like, all right, just
fine.
Yeah.
Won't wish death upon you more. Yeah, it's pretty great. And then at some point, actually they both do this to me. I will goose honk in reading something. Like I will make a noise that only geese normally produce because it's so funny. Yeah. Yes, feral goose. It's totally a good thing.
Love it.
Yeah.
So we'll keep the questions coming, everybody. I'm gonna pop over to mine, but if you've got a question for Marisa, pop it in the chat and we'll ask it. So okay, so you kind of talked about being a teacher, but you taught middle school and that I mean feral points for that as well, because middle schoolers
They are feral. Oh, I love
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about, so how long have you been a teacher? Or, what was that
Yeah.
like?
So
And how have you included any of those moments in your writing?
Oh no. No, I taught middle school for 4 years after college, and then I stayed in education for another 20 years, um, training teachers and recruiting teachers and principal training and all that good stuff. I loved teaching so much. I loved my kids. I will say, for like the whole first semester, because I taught sixth, seventh, and eighth grade, that whole first semester, I was like, why? Why I do that? I hated middle school. It was miserable. Everything was terrible. All you feel are your feelings. Like everything is awful.
Yeah.
And they've got big feelings and they hate you. And it was, oh my God, I was like, why did I do this? Like, I am somebody's seventh grade teacher. Ugh. And then we started to settle that second semester, and then we really settled second year. And I was like, right, this is why I did this. And it's because several reasons. Like at middle school, yes, they are bananas, but they, unlike full grown adults, have every right to be bananas because they
That's
are
true.
going through it all the time, and it's mostly out of their control. They are old enough that you can joke around and be sarcastic and like have fun, but they're also young enough that once they trust you, they will still bond really hard. Like I do every now and then still hear from some of my kids. I have a vase downstairs of fake flowers that one of the boys made for me because it was his mom's business, and oh my God, it was the preciousest thing. Like you can still really build great relationships with kids at that age. Like I feel like high school, you still can too, for sure, but they also can like see the out.
I mean, high
Like,
schoolers know everything too, right? Middle schoolers, you still have a little bit of that sweet, like
little bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Like, man, I loved it. And so like after that first semester, and certainly after that first year, the kids were by far the best part. Like that I would have kept teaching for the rest of my career if not for the adults. So
Yeah.
And I don't mean parents. I just there are many walks of life in which you can either be good at one part of your job or none of your job or whatever, and you just get promoted. But then nobody actually trains you how to manage people.
Yep.
And that happens a lot. So I had
Yep.
some really great principals, and then I had one who told me she didn't want to waste me on children. And that's hard. So when the kids were why I was there,
which is
right?
not something that you should ever say to any, like, yeah.
Yes, you are too strong a teacher to waste on children is antithetical of what education should be. That was the worst. That was really hard. And I don't think I would have looked for other jobs if that hadn't been the tone of that last year. So anyway, so I loved teaching. I loved kids. I kept my work as close to working with kids as I could because they're freaking awesome. And I don't know. I've been thinking about writing some middle grade stuff. I don't have any great ideas for it yet, but man, the difference in my kids, like when we started reading really fun science fiction books or like books that made sense to them and not like, this is classic literature.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Watching kids blossom is amazing. Good storytelling, amazing. So
love it.
Yeah. And no, to answer your question, nothing from my teaching has worked into a story knowingly. I don't know. Maybe if they're all in their like late 20s, early 30s at this point.
Yeah.
But I don't know if any of them read it and were like, oh, that's this thing. Maybe, but not on purpose.
You're like, none of it. Yeah.
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
So.
Casey's got a good question for us next. What is your advice for people looking to find their own feral tribe? I think that's a great question.
Great question. Yes. So I think it's step one, know what you're looking for. Like, are you just looking for people to be chaotic with? Cool. Are you looking for people to level up your career and be chaotic with? Are you looking for people who just make you feel safe and confident to go do things you want to do? Like, what are you looking for? And then the next part is the really, really hard part. I think go places where those people might be, but also go places where those people might be being yourself. So
Mhm.
I find that really hard. So I used to. It gets easier with practice, I promise. Because like if you are being yourself and people reject you, then you're like, ooh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is my squishy. That
Yeah.
is that isn't the funny persona I put on that I don't give a fuck if you like or not. Like that was me. Um, but like for years and years and years, I had like my online fanfic life, and then I had my like education, nonprofit, C level, whatever life, and I didn't. People didn't know I was a nerd. Like it was a very separate thing, right? I mean, in high school, people totally knew I was a nerd. Let's not pretend, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got a little mask, I put things on, it was fine. But then once I started to be like, no, actually, these are the things I love. These are the things I do. I revel in my chaotic treasures
Uh-huh.
like a very uncranky dragon. Like then I found the people, right? Like when I was me, then I could find the people who could match that energy. There's this amazing chick on the Instagrams that I don't know where she is, probably TikToks too. I don't know. Elise Myers.
Yeah. I
Um,
love Lise.
oh my God, I love her
My
so much.
spouse is actually reading her book right now. She put out a book.
It is on my list.
Yeah.
I saw her reaction to being a bestseller, and oh my God, she's
Mhm.
just so charming. She's just like so charmingly herself. And is part of that for the internet? Sure. Like you have to decide like what you want to share, what you want to keep yourself. But she is so authentically that version of herself. Like she's
Mhm.
so charming and so compelling. And she said, as far as I know, she's the first one to ever say this, like, oh, am I too much? Go find less.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm too much for you. That's fine. You can find less. I'm not going to lessen myself for that. You
Mhm.
If you are not yourself, if you are not at your true level, you aren't going to find the people who are going to match. Like I know we overuse the word vibes and all sorts of things, but like you're not going to figure out who vibes with you if you're not being you. And that is really hard. It is so much easier for me to just be the feral goblin that I am because I have my two feral goblins, fellow
Yeah.
feral goblins. And we have this amazing network of incredible people that does make it so much easier to be yourself. But also, I think if I hadn't like kind of tested being that person, I wouldn't have found
Yeah.
those people. So go to cons, volunteer if you can, get involved in your online communities, like show up in the chats of really fun podcasts and make friends. Like Steffi, I met Steffi through Twitter, and I will spend hours if I can sending her long, thoughtful messages because she sends me long, thoughtful messages, and she's a fucking delight. Like she's
Mhm.
amazing. I have not met her in real life yet. I'm sure I will someday. But like I met her from Twitter. She's amazing. You can just show up and be amazing, and the right people will match that energy with you,
Yeah.
right? So
I think too there's something there that you said early on about um like getting it was kind of like getting rejected by people because of who you actually are, right? And I think that's like an inherent fear we all have,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I always tell people too that if you are rejected for who you are, then you really didn't they weren't your people.
yeah.
you know
It's
you're,
about
you
them,
just
not
got to
you.
trust that your people are out there, right?
Yes,
You will find them if you
yes.
keep putting yourself out there.
Yes. And you can start by being, the best version of you. Because does the whole internet understand how like incredibly codependent and needy I can be? No, you don't need to. That's not for you. Like, but do Melissa and Casey know that? Yes. Does my
Yeah.
husband know that? Yes. Do they know like I'm always battling that voice in my head that's like, don't say that, don't say that. Oh my God, you're so stupid. Oh my God, you're so stupid. Please stop talking. Yep. But again, like I don't usually lead with that. I'm doing it right now, but this is kind of a safe environment for me, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
But you can be the best version of you and like ease into it, but you got to be you. If you're pretending to be somebody else, you're never going to find your people.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna switch horses or geese here for a second. MT wants to know, can you goose hunt on command?
It is an involuntary expulsion of your soul from your throat. I think so. It's like like I can't. It's please, but imagine it's that, but with more surprised joy powering it. I don't
Okay. Yeah,
I don't know.
it's like that soulful
It's like,
eruption of
it's from your toes, I think.
yeah.
Jeff Hayes probably could do it on command.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I
narrators and the authors were
yes,
very different critters.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. All those amazing narrators, the performers, they
Yeah.
could knock it out the park.
They're the ones that are just like, schmoozing at the con, and you're like, wow,
Amazing.
it's
Yeah.
so easy for them.
Why are
We're
you so
like huddled in the
amazing?
corner with our snacks,
Yeah. Just here, chewing on my chicken wings.
staring
Fine.
at people
Yeah.
ferally.
Forgetting they can see me back. It's fine. Everything's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, it's fine.
Man.
All right. Let's see. Wilkie's got a question about what would you say to the woman who wants to think they can, who don't think they can write a badass female main character who also wants to be feminine and able to be loved? Obviously, you're great at writing a badass
Oh.
woman main character. So here's the question.
Well, thank you. You're a delight. So here's the thing. I think when you realize as an author that women are people and that men are people, and you're writing people, they can be all kinds of things, right? Like, and I know you're not saying like, oh, they can't be all the things. Like, it infuriates me when the only kind of badass female main character we see is like a dude with boobs. Like, you can have a badass woman. You can have a badass woman who likes to dress up and look pretty. I've met them. Like, there are a ton of them. So I think it is just like, how are you making her or him, whoever, how are you making them full people? So anytime they're like, these are their two traits, then they're going to be kind of cardboardy because they're two-dimensional because they have two traits. But really think about like, okay, was she like this when she was 15? It's never going to go in the book, probably. But what was she like when she was 15? How did she become this person? So Seema is really good at what she does, but she's not a badass fighter. She's like, I'm a thief. If they've seen me, it's already ruined. Like, my best tricks are out. Like, I am not here to Krav Maga you. Like, I have to get away. I have to make you not notice me. And like, Terrio is a full-on badass because she was the mama of the group. Like, she was the oldest by just a couple of years, but enough that like that was her job. So she learned to fight because she had to keep her family alive. But even still, she's not taking on the city guard who have been well fed their whole lives and trained their whole lives formally. She fights like a street rat. Like, they don't have swords, So it's like, it's thinking about how did they get to be who they are? And what are the other traits? Because it can't be just, I mean, you can start with, man, the way she walks into a room makes everybody shut the fuck up. Absolutely, you can start there. But then it's like, why? What training does she have? What confidence does she have to back it up? And I think the other thing that matters, this is also something that really, really infuriates me, is do not make your female character the only smart person in the book. Like, she's only smart because all the men around her are stupid. That is also sexist. And I don't even mean because we're saying like men. It's sexist to think a woman can only be great if the men around her are stupid. I hate that. Like, you can actually be better if the people around you are awesome. It turns out. So, I mean, I think it is, think about why she is the way she is. Think about who the people are around her. I ideally want everybody in a book to be competent. Like, some people might be bumbling and stupid and that's part of their thing, but like, it can't be everyone but my main character. Like, Harvin, I did not realize Harvin needed to be a point of view character until I was halfway through the book, which involved some very important rewrites.
You would have to, yeah. I
Can
honestly, I could kind of see that shift a little bit, not, like, because he was kind of superficial on some of the, and then, okay.
Then he gets layers. Because there's so much that happens that Seema can never see. And Harvin has to see it, and Harvin has to be good at his job for it to matter. So I think it is, why are they the way they are? What else is true about them?
Yeah, he was a fuck you character at the beginning.
He was.
Yes, I was like, oh, I don't want to.
I describe their relationship as enemies to colleagues, and I stand by it. And I will say, like, a lot of people are like, well, are they really enemies? You just like didn't like her, but was always attracted to her. No, home dude actively tried to kill her the first time they met. And he had, in his head, very good reason to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Didn't make me like him anymore,
No, yeah, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. No. But that's him. Like, for me, this is not a spoiler, but like for maybe a little bit. One of them starts off only really seeing shades of gray and not understanding that like some things really can be just bad or just good. Because of their effects on other things. And the other one starts off very black and white.
Yeah, very black and white. Yeah.
Everything is this or everything is that, the end, and is unwillingly forced to understand that there is nuance.
Well, and I think, you know, that serves because as the book progresses, you kind of see them both become more central. Like they both move towards each other, you know? See, yeah. And I don't want to give stuff away.
No,
I'm going to keep the comment, just thought inside thought, but
inside thought. We can talk after.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, no, it's good.
But yeah, so that's a lot of advice, I guess.
Yeah. So hopefully that helps. I would also agree that a lot of times the mistake people make is that it's just a cardboard character, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you can wear lipstick and kick ass.
You sure can. You know, you also cannot know how to apply lipstick and kick ass. Sure, both of those things are true. But don't. We have all we need, I think, of the I'm just plain and I don't know what I look like at all, but I'm secretly stunningly beautiful and also a badass vampire ninja assassin. Like we don't need that.
I always think about I'm tired of reading books about people who are like not like just fully fledged people, you know, they just don't have, you know, I read a lot of lit RPG because that's the genre I'm writing in right now, and I think the video game aspect of lit RPG lends itself to having more one-dimensional characters because it's more about the stats, and you know, stats in and of themselves kind of create that like not as
where you're focusing on.
But yeah, give me juicy people. That didn't sound right. But,
I mean, you know, look, we're not here to kink shame. No, but you know, like and some people are very plot driven, right? Like they want their plot driven books, so the characters are really just kind of placeholders to self insert, which is great. Like that is completely valid on the storytelling.
Absolutely.
I am a very character driven reader and author, and I obsess about them as people. And I think that's the secret to keep from having like the standard this strong female character. Like she can be a whole person. It's okay.
It's just I think some of it's just the over rotation. Like for a long time we just didn't have that character.
And then a lot of dances.
Casey's got another great question. What would that mean voice in your head like to step outside so she can punch him?
I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah, I need that too once in a while. I think we all just need Casey
to beat up the mean voices in our head. She's really, really good at it.
Alligator headbutt us.
Yes, just take it out. It'll be fine. Yeah, it's great. We're doing so great. But she did say somewhere in there, I have not done a great job of I'm like glancing over, and then you guys are so delightful in the comments that I'm like, I can't look. I have to focus. But she did say at some point earlier, like, we would be delighted to have you as our people, Reck, which is true.
Yes. So. Yes. I'm starting to float. I can feel it.
There it
is. Brian, if Brian's still on here, I need your little book light that lights up and makes you look like, yes.
Brian's got props and promos. I love it.
Brian's amazing. Yeah, he's got this book light that opens up and it looks like he's like leveled up. I feel it.
That's so cool. I love that. I need that immediately for reals. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up. You guys are so chatty. I'm trying to catch up on the questions here. Well, while I'm scanning the questions, can you tell me where can we find you in 2026? Are you going to cons? Are you going to be online with like obviously the podcast, but where else can we find you?
So yes, the podcast. You can find me this year. Next weekend, if you're in the New England area, I will be at BosCon. I will be spending the entire time in the dealer hall at the table. probably nerding out about everything. And then every time I sell a book, going to buy things because that's how I do in the dealer hall. It's great. It's fine. Everything's fine. So I will be there. And then in June, I will be in Chattanooga, Tennessee at Liberty Con. And at Labor Day weekend, I will be at Dragon Con in Atlanta. And that's it for this year because I also...
3 cons is a lot. So
Thanks.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do more. But this year also my little brother is getting married right over Jordan Con. So I can't go to Jordan Con, but I'm very excited for him. And then my best friend from childhood is retiring from the Air Force in Alaska. So I will be going there. And that is 5 trips. That is too many. But in 2027, I'm just going to talk about this forever. April of 2027, there will be a new con in Virginia Beach, Virginia, run by an experienced con crew. It's going to be run by the Fantasy Literary Society. They are looking to have some pretty cool guests of honor, including the Lit RPG guest of honor. And I will be their inaugural mistress of ceremonies. So I can promise you shenanigans.
Chaos Goblin energy. Yes. I love it.
Very Chaos Goblin. Much wow. So
yes. I love it. So I love it. That sounds awesome. Yeah. I think Dragon Con is a question mark on my list. I may or may not be going, so we might be able to bump elbows at Dragon Con.
That would be amazing. Yes, that'd be so cool. Okay,
would be awesome.
Yes, please.
Yeah. I think I'm caught up in the comments. Wilkie had another one. You're saying, I've heard that some authors get so involved in their characters that they see themselves in those characters. How do you maintain yourself when writing characters that aren't like you?
Oh man, these are such good questions.
Yeah, it's like
really thoughtful. I love these. So for me, it's almost always dialogue. So my goal is that if I stripped out every dialogue tag, you could still make out who was talking because their personality is different than everybody else's. I don't know if I always get it, but more often than not, I think I do, because it's something I spend a lot of effort on. Like, so it's mostly dialogue. Every now and then, though, I will hear, I'm not crazy, I swear, I will hear a voice in my head reacting to something that is not at all how I would react to something. It's how Yagan the dragon would, or it's how B would, because they're all from my head, right? They're not me, but those voices get real clear in my head sometimes. And every now and then I'll feel like creeping, like I'm not a tiny angry dragon. I'm not going to respond in that manner. That's ridiculous. So I think the thing I have to be more careful of is that they don't all sound like me, than that they're infecting me. I need them to sound like themselves. And dialogue really is my main tool to do that. So it'll be a lot of reading that through. And like when I have time to step away from manuscript and come back, it's also kind of reading things without the dialogue tags and being like, okay, but does that sound like him? Like, or does that sound like her channeling him? Like one of those episodes of your TV show where everyone's body swapped and you've got the actor playing the other person playing that, like
yes, yeah. I love those Xena episodes.
So much. I love those so much. So it's kind of like that, but making sure it actually sounds like that character and it doesn't sound like just what I would say in that situation. So
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. That's do you actually strip out the voice tags and check yourself that way?
Sometimes. And sometimes it's actively me like holding my hand up on the screen, like just words, stop there. Okay. Just words, stop there. But I have been known to copy and paste into another document just to be like, it's usually when it's not working. That's when I will pull it out fully, strip out the tags and be like, okay. Because then if I get lost in who's talking, then I know I done fucked up and I got to fix it. So.
Yeah. I love it. All right. Well, so you've got your con schedule. What does your book schedule look like for 2026?
It's fairly light actually in 26. So for 2 reasons. One, I've got like 4 anthologies coming out this year.
Okay. Yeah, that's
delightful. Very exciting. Several of them are in shared universes, like the Monster Hunter International universe, in a universe I'm building, which is very exciting. Anyway, so I've got like 4 anthologies coming out this year. And then I am writing my very first Honorverse novel with the fabulous David Weber.
That's cool.
So awesome. And she gonna be a chunk, like double this, I think.
Really? So wow.
she's going to be big. We got a lot going on. It's a continuation of the Crown of Slaves storyline for the Honorverse, but also filling in like what's been happening in the main line of the as a whole. It's very exciting and amazing, but it's going to be a chonker. Okay, maybe not. It's not a Brandon Sanderson chonker, but I think it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Not like
at least 2 or 3
binding.
C's on the end of that thick.
Yeah. Thick. So that'll be great. So that'll be most of the year, and then I will be working on the sequel to A Plague of Magic, which I'm very excited about. So 27 will probably be a big release year. 26 will probably be like, here are my anthologies. Here's me celebrating my fellow Feral Ladies sequels and other books. And then 27, I think, will be kind of gangbusters.
So you're gonna make us wait another year for that Plague of Magic sequel. All right.
I am.
Yeah, it's all right. That's all right.
But it's all planned out. I know what it is. I mean, it's very messily planned out, but I know what's going to happen. There's some cool stuff. So
yeah, love it. Yeah.
But it'll be 27. Right. Sorry.
So Pop is one of my fans. He follows a lot of us around, and I always ask, what is a book that you would recommend to Pop to add to his TBR?
Oh,
what would you want folks to add to their TBR?
What does Pop get feral about?
He likes progression fantasy and post-apocalyptic stuff.
Interesting. I really should have thought this one through. A book I read last year that I picked up from the library because it was so pretty at the bookstore when I was doing the signing was The Raven Scholar.
I've seen that one. It looks pretty. I've touched it, felt it up at the bookstore a couple times. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's like absurdly beautiful. And I was like, all right, but is it good? And the answer is yes, it is very good. That is not post-apocalyptic or progression, but it is like, there's like cool God stuff going on, like kind of under the radar, and like your point of view is very unreliable. And I love that. So that is a book by nobody I know that I read last year, almost because I was like, you can't be good. And I was incredibly wrong, because you can be pretty and badass. Both those things are true. It was so good. Casey.
The book can look pretty and be badass too.
Awesome. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Just put some lipstick on. It's great. That is really good. I feel like there's a really good post-apocalyptic thing like in the back of my head that I want to talk about. I don't know. It's something that everybody should read if they haven't yet are the Vorkosigan Saga books by Lois McMaster Bujold. I also recommend that for sci-fi. And while not progression fantasy, because I am still very new. Well,
it's
reader,
really about like what you've read that you want people to read. Yeah.
But he Miles for sure levels up in those books. If not like overtly like, here's now you're level 4, now you're level whatever, you see his impact and his scale and his thinking grow each book, and it's pretty great. So so those are 2 things. And then people in the chat would like to recommend my book, which I love. Thank you so much. That's very kind.
I love it. At some point, I hope that Pop just gets crushed beneath the weight of all of the recommendations. Yeah.
I bet he will. I downloaded 12.
In like a fun, everybody wants that for themselves way.
Yes, because I downloaded 12 books last night because of Geneva and Richie. 12. What is happening? What am I going to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Never sleep again.
I feel that. I just had somebody for one of my future podcast dates, and he's like, I really want to talk about this other book of mine. I was like, okay, like I think I can add that into my reading.
Just read another one.
I'll just read another. I'll just add another book in for this week. That's fine.
That's amazing. You're doing big work. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Steffi, I love that you love Valkyries. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
great. I had some more questions, but we are 20 minutes over our hour because we're just having fun. I should know that if I've got one of the Feral Ladies on the podcast, we're going over the conversations slap, so I have zero regrets. But thanks everybody for joining tonight. Check out A Plague of Magic. Marisa is lovely. And my next interview is going to be the Reck and Pop Pop show on the 10th, and we're going to be interviewing Geneva, talking about JordanCon. So we're starting a Road to JordanCon series. I've already
Yes.
talked to Melissa about coming back on.
Hell yeah.
And so we're going to be interviewing JordanCon authors, so you can get the scoop before you get to meet them in person.
That's so awesome. You guys are gonna have so much fun. Oh, I love it.
It's going to be great. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thanks. Thanks, Brian. Thanks.